Even a better finish to the day than the start, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately in the first race, in the first corner, I was knocked out off the track into the trees. And by the time I got my back on the track, the pack was gone, so there was no chance of catching them. Luckily in the second heat we got a win, and the last heat we've also got another win. But we'll have to see how the points work out for the day.
Back to the two-wheelers now, and the two qualifying heats in the open category were both won by Ian Topless on his Elna Fox Kawasaki. But it was Gary Peterson on his Team Brasco FMF Racing Kawasaki that had the best start in the main race, shooting away from the rest of the field. Peterson quickly established a lead and was chased by Glenn Tantum on his Honda and Ian Topless on his Elna Fox Kawasaki, while some of the other riders got stuck in a high-speed traffic jam. Championship leader Gary Peterson is known as one of the hardest men in the business, and he knew that opening up a commanding lead over second-placed man in Topless would be very handy indeed. With Topless chasing hard, Peterson also knew that his own fitness was a little bit suspect, his 2-week-old firstborn keeping him away from the practice track. Behind the leader, Topless was pulling away from Tantum in third, while a huge battle for fourth was developing between Gary Lipchik, Mark Myron, Alfie Cox, Alan Julian, Grant Bloomfield and Greg Aspinall. This was typical of the type of close racing that Total Super Series 97 has produced this year, and the Sixth Son had the crowd on their feet as the positions changed through virtually every corner. At the front, Gary Peterson was still holding on to his lead, but he knew that Topless would start catching him pretty soon. Topless fell very hard in the 200cc race, but it didn't seem to bother him too much. Glenn Tantum was being caught and passed by Gary Lipchik on his Pro Cycles Honda. The battle for fourth had become the battle for fifth. Alan Julian on his Shell Racing Honda had moved up to fifth, ahead of the Panasonic Kawasaki of Greg Aspinall. Julian and Aspinall were sometimes right over the edge as they swapped places. Alfie Cox was an interested onlooker on his 300cc AGA Panasonic Castrol KTM. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead was hotting up as Topless caught up with Peterson, the two of them pulling clear from the rest of the field. Third was still Lipchik, but Aspinall overdid it and allowed Julian to catch up again. Have you ever seen someone getting up and go this quickly? Peterson was passing back markers by now, his aggressive style ensuring him a quick and safe passage. In the background, Topless was still lurking. Peterson is a past master of racing under pressure and was enjoying himself as Topless threw himself at every corner, taking different lines in an effort to close the gap. And it was working. Now, all eyes were on this intriguing battle as Topless slowly but steadily ate into the gap between himself and Gary Peterson. Was Peterson tiring? Evidently, Topless was still as fit as a fiddle, the injuries he sustained in the 200cc race not seeming to bother him at all. But Peterson knew he had the race under control and that it wasn't necessary to go any faster than to keep Topless behind him. Although there was virtually nothing between the two throughout the race, Peterson eventually took it, upsetting the pattern of victories that Topless had laid down in the first two races. Topless took the overall honours for the day, closing the championship gap between Peterson and himself by 2 points, while the main event winner was second overall for the day.
You know, I thought Ian would have a little bit of a disadvantage because he crashed in the 200 class, but didn't turn out that way. And I got a good start. I was pulling away, and I just started making mistakes, and they'd ordered the track, and I was trying different lines, and I went back to my old line, and I maintained. He passed me there, and actually upped my pace a little bit, and I see he couldn't hang on to me, so I'm still there.